Heroes of Hammerwatch 2 just dropped its 10th patch, and I am going to go over what it adds to the game and some systems it changes. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jeff. If you're new here, I cover some updates like this on these types of games and do a lot of Let's Plays, which I'll probably do another Let's Play of this in a day or two. But I want to talk about this because it seems to be that instead of like radically overhauling some of the problems this game has with in-game and like New Game Plus 3 and higher, they are trying to just add content to it to make it viable. But anyways, let's go over the actual changes. So first off, Shadow Curse is being revamped. Regular enemies, Shadow Curse is like a thing that happens on New Game Plus 1 that debuffs your armor and resistances, so you get hit harder, it becomes a problem. And melee characters and whatnot. So what they're doing is regular enemies can no longer curse you with their attacks, so you're not punished for playing a melee. That's cool. Shades will still cause curse, or they can, I guess. I don't know if it's guaranteed. They've added cursed floor traps to multiple rooms of the game when you're playing on New Game Plus. They've added cursed chest and cursed resource caches when you're playing on New Game Plus that spawn rewards and shades. They reduce the amount of shades in the Citadel shortcut, which is once you unlock the Architect, you open up the big door in the Forest Biome 1, and you light up the torches to see how far you want to go. So I don't know how many it's actually going to be because in the notes it just says reduce the amount. But if you did like a 4 torch skip, there was a ton of shades. If you didn't have enough AoE, you were probably going to die or just not have any armor at the end. Shades also got buffed though. They have more HP and armor, so we'll have to see. Cultists no longer summon shades. That's really nice. And change the Shadow Curse gain stat to be multiplicative instead of additive. That should mean that at the beginning it'll probably be about the same, maybe a little faster, but the more Shadow Curse you have, it won't compound like infinitely. I think it only goes up to 100 though, so it should be a lot harder to get to that. All right, what else do we have? We have elixirs have been added to the game. So every New Game Plus you reach, you unlock 3 elixirs to be found for each of the 5 attributes. Each elixir, it appears, give +1 to that attribute of the 5, the strength, dex, and focus and vitality. They can be found in cursed chests and caches, and are rewarded for killing the final boss. I don't know if it's one for the final boss or like a full set. It doesn't really say. But it says the first 3 elixirs you need to be playing on New Game Plus 1 or higher to find them. The next 3 means playing on New Game Plus 2. So I'm assuming you get 3 elixirs per difficulty. Although the way this is worded, it seems like you get 3 elixirs for each 5 attributes. So that'd be 15. So you'd get 15 elixirs to find each New Game Plus difficulty, which is kind of a lot. But what that'll do is that's going to make using equipment a lot easier because the equipment requirements go through the roof, and it's going to let you allocate stat points more into, your primary stat. They've also added rerolling skill spheres and trinket pickers. So when you get to New Game Plus, you get an accomplishment that rewards a reroll charge. It doesn't say how many on the screenshot thing here. It shows 10 rerolls, but I'm not sure how many you actually get. Anyways, it seems like you're going to get some curse if you choose to reroll. Maybe that's what this is showing me here in this image. But if that's the case, it's going to be a lot easier to get the build you want to get. And curse isn't that hard to get rid of, especially early on we don't have as much. So I think it's a really nice change. There's some visual changes, added braziers to the courts area for purging curse. Court archers no longer shoot triple arrows when you're in melee, so you don't get shotgunned. There's a new trinket set. They also changed the stat values of the flat damage items, the blackjack, throwing stars, and the quiver. So they deal a percentage of your main hand damage instead of their low base values. That's going to be better. Changed the 5-piece of the soldier's uniform to give life leech and weapon crit, which is crazy. Added shield mastery to weapon mastery trainer to increase block amount on shields. That's interesting. Life leech now heals at double the rate, but the pool of life leech is reset when reaching full health. So you can no longer overheal and store it, which is probably what made Warlock immortal. Enemy groups no longer spawn different bannermen. This was something that was added recently, not a big deal. Made the troll ruler enemy in the dark caves more common. I guess that's like the boss one. Dark Hall's skull mines are no longer spawned, so they overlap. I don't actually know what that is. Improved collision with bottomless pits and dark halls, so it's less common to be pushed into them. That's nice. Fixed hand crossbow, not always properly applying armor penetration. That's also pretty good. All right, so that's basically the end of these patch notes. And then they have a little note here at the end. This patch changes curse from a combat mechanic to a risk reward mechanic, and because cursed chests can contain an extra cursed trinket, and potential rewards of doing a cursed run should be higher. The addition of elixirs should help with long-term scaling of equipment requirements, which can be a bit too steep when you get higher levels, like I mentioned before. Elixirs being found mostly in cursed resource caches, along with crystals and dust. Gives a nice reward for taking on a fight with some shades. So I agree with this. I think these are all like super nice changes. I do think they've basically created a problem for their infinite scaling game, and they are now taking steps to fix it, and they have taken quite a few steps. The game came out like 2 months ago, a little less than that. They're on their 10th patch. I think like 4 of them have added like fairly significant changes to the game. I think this counts as fairly significant, the Shadow Curse. It's not like major content patch, but it does add some extra meta progression, which the game has a ton of at this point. And it fixes something that was just unfun, which was Shadow Curse making melee not viable. The game definitely needs like some more content, some more like actual content, and not just meta progression farming stuff, I think, to really like pull the audience back in my opinion. But I think they are doing a good job, and I think they're on the right path to that. But we definitely need some new maps, or at least modding, to be added before it's really going to pick back up to this height that how popular it was when it came out. But anyways, if you like this video, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below what you'd like to see added to Heroes of Hammerwatch 2. I'd be curious of what you guys would say. And I will talk to you later. Have a great day. Jeff out. Bye.